The person I relate to the most in The Grapes of Wrath is the former Reverend Jim Casey. Tom Joad meets Casey on his way back home from prison, and over a bottle of whiskey under the shade of a tree, they trade stories. Tom tells his story of prisoner to parolee, and Casey tells his story of preacher to authentic personhood. A story laced with the irony that the better he became at preaching, the easier it became to sin. With his success, it appeared that he grew in favor with God and women. And even though he began with every intention to do right, he usually ended up doing what felt good, which eventually created a conflict in his soul that caused him to question everything. And he concluded, I don't know anybody named Jesus. I know stories about somebody named Jesus, but I do know people. And I know that people, all of us, the whole of humanity, are connected. We all make up a part of one great whole. And I know that I love people, and I'm bursting with a desire to do something for their good, something that will contribute to their happiness. And as Casey became less certain about God, he became more understanding about humanity, both its beauty and its burden. He no longer prayed, but he often pondered his way to progress, his mind hovering long over how things are and over how things ought to be. He no longer preached, but he echoed empathy and compassion from somewhere deep within. As a preacher, he was cut off from people because people wouldn't and couldn't be themselves around him. But as an authentic person, fragile, frail, failed, he entered into their journey. He entered into their struggle. And by doing so, he entered into their confidence. And he went from being the voice of God to being the voice of the people. A people being taken advantage of, held down, robbed of the basic necessities of life so that others could have more than they could ever use. My story is pretty much the same as Casey's, and I saw myself in him immediately. Someone not holy enough for the church, but too aware of the holes in society to be complacent. And my highest hope in what I'm doing here with the Ink Tank is to be able to come alongside the Tom Joads of the world and help them see the world more clearly, to see humanity more completely, and to encourage them by explanation and example to live, to act, and to be for the good and happiness of others.